All right, guys, my better half is here.
Hey.
How you doing, Benson?
I'm good. You look good in that pomage.
Thank you.
Though, like, for real.
I feel like pomage. Like, I'm about to do some 720 no-scopes. I got my yellow underwings ready to party.
Underwings.
You like that? That's what I'm going to label this.
Okay.
How would you describe this? What is this? It's like my
All right, that's a good point.
Yeah, right?
Underwings. We'll go with it. Why not?
Underwings.
Do I have underwings? I do. Oh, no, I do. I have like a gray underwing.
Yeah, you got a nice thin gray underwing.
A gray one. You got like a fluorescent green one.
It's more powerful.
Yeah.
Much more powerful. Anyways, Pomage and I discussed on Twitter, of course, if you buy a Pomage hoodie, it will eventually make you taller over time the more you wear it, as well as add 10 years to your life. So we gave Maven one. Moving on, Ben, it is the first day back in the studio after the incredible Advanced Warfare Columbus Open Tournament. We just went through real quickly what happened in pool play. Big shocker for you coming out of the pools.
There was a lot of stuff going on. You know, TK played very, very well in pool play, which no one really expected.
Prophecy, I think, was the big shocker for me.
Where did that come from?
And Strictly Business, the other one. So to see SB and to see Prophecy winning their pool, I don't think anyone really had that, especially not as casters.
I think next time we have pool play, when it comes to predictions, we should just predict the random stuff. Because it always seems to happen in pool play. Every single time we see it, it's like what you expect to happen never does. So from now on, I'm just going with random predictions. I'm flipping coins.
Flip it up a little bit.
Why not?
Now through the winners bracket, of course, we showed how round one, everyone going to game 5. Prophecy, one of the stronger teams going through. We saw FaZe going through with a game 5 victory. Denial getting knocked out, unfortunately, in that battle. And then, really, I was impressed by the other squads, like Justice coming into it. Just couldn't get it done. But in the losers bracket, everyone that we thought would clutch up really did.
Yeah, that was the big thing for me. You know, all those teams, for example, like Denial, that ended up in the losers bracket, went on a bit of a run. FaZe especially, the key one from that tournament, who went down into the losers bracket and still managed to just clutch up every single game.
Now let's take a look at the losers bracket one more time. Again, the big surprises for a lot of people. Top 12 performance by DT eSports there. Eventually knocked out against Justice. Strictly Business making a nice run in the pool play. They looked pretty good in that winners bracket, but TK sent them home. And then Aware Gaming, another squad that looked very good early on in pool play, struggling against Optic Nation, who barely got by. But in the situation now, we had Automatic Reload, we had Team Caliber, we had Aware Gaming, we had Strictly Business, we had Prophecy, all in the running for a spot, as well as DT Esports for just 4 pool play spots. Prophecy locked one up. You see Team Caliber, by making it all the way to losers round 6, they locked one up. So 2 spots left. We saw Aware Gaming, DT Esports, SB, and Automatic Reload facing off for those positions. And I was talking to Burns. They got lucky, is what they said, by having to play against DT Esports. But even there, it was a little bit more difficult than they wanted, going 3-1.
Right, it was. But I was actually there when the commissioner told BLFire who he was going to play. Because obviously at that point you had, you know, every single player from all those 4 teams desperate to try and get information. Like, all right, who do we play? Who do we play? Because, I mean, for these guys, it's their career, right? They'll be playing in Season 1. This is a huge deal to them.
Yeah, you get salaries in Season 1.
You get
all the goodies.
Plus, you know, streaming and whatnot, a really good source of income for some of these players.
Correct.
So for BLFire, as soon as he was told that he dodged both SB and Aware, I mean, no disrespect to DT, because you know, DT proved to be very, very good.
Right.
But, oh my God, he was jumping up and down. It was like a kid on Christmas. It was hilarious. But, you know, he was very, very happy. Gets lucky. You know, I spoke to all of them. They all agreed, yeah, we got really, really lucky. But sometimes you need a little bit of luck on your side.
Strictly Business so bummed that they lost their Game 5 in winners bracket.
Right.
Then, you know, struggling again in the losers bracket, now fighting for their lives against Aware Gaming, a team that was known for the first upset, really. They took out Envy in the very first round of the tournament there in pool play. So Aware, Strictly Business. A little bit interesting stuff. There were some issues in a game of Hardpoint.
Right.
Aware was up by almost 80 points, I'm told.
No, it was even more than that.
Even more than that?
Yeah, they'd actually just hit 200 points. And then SB flagged because apparently there was some sort of a glitch with their ADSing. But, I mean, the game, it was over. There was no way SB would come back.
By the rules, though,
yeah,
if there's any technical issue, you have to do a full restart.
Yep.
SB comes out. They get a little bit of momentum. In Game 5, though, it was Aware.
Yep.
Clutching up. Sender and the boys had some of the most ridiculous stats of the weekend. In fact, in all of the Respawn game modes on stream, Sender, with, of course, more than 10 maps played, Sender was #1.
And I believe Happy was number, was it
Happy number 4.
4, yeah. So with two of the top 5 players, essentially, statistically looking at least, the craziness, because they came out of nowhere. I was really impressed with Happy, because that was one of the things that we talked about a lot before Columbus. It was, all right, Happy's playing well online, but is that going to go well onto LAN? Yeah.
So let's take a look at our Season 1 teams. Of course, Season 1 of Advanced Warfare is going to be kicking off on December 8th. We have Optic Gaming, Envy, FaZe, Prophecy, Automatic Reload, Denial, Optic Nation, Rise Nation, Noble Esports, Aware, and TK. Now you'll notice I just skipped over Most Wanted. A lot of people wondering, what is that logo? Well, according to the league, I was talking to the commissioner, and there's a little bit of a disagreement going on with the team owners, but he says Most Wanted has ownership dispute and their team is locked until it is resolved. This means no team name changes, no trades, and no substitute additions. So the players that played under Justice, technically still Most Wanted, but we're going to see Enable and Moch playing there with Slacked and Classic.
Yeah, they've got a really good team right now. I mean, they played well. They kind of underperformed in their eyes, I think, because going into that tournament with the number 2 seed, they expected so much. But I actually saw some tweets this morning when I woke up, and it was all about this whole team dilemma, and some people saying how it's going to be resolved today. So I'm curious to find out exactly what does happen with that, because it's been something that's going on now for what seems like nearly a month. All these disputes probably isn't that long, but it's been going on for a while.
Also regarding Noble, I know there was a lot of questions. There's Noble spot in AW Season 1 is secure, and these outside parties who are disagreeing right now and disputing must resolve their dispute on their own. So the league not getting involved there.
Right.
Noble, after their performance at the Season 3 playoffs, earned the spot here at Season 1. The league is going to uphold that. So there we have our Season 1 games. Just wanted to get that out of the way real quick because I know a lot of people are wondering. Ben, we're going to see, of course, 33 days of regular season action with 22 matches being played by each team. 44 matches in total for those squads.
I can't wait. Just having... I'm kind of like got that post-event like depression kind of, because, it was so good.
When are we going to see matches again?
Right. It's like I want to cast all these top teams again. So that Season 1 is going to be mind-blowing. Honestly, I can't wait to start, casting some of those games as they go on throughout the season.
All right, so let's wrap up the bracket here, guys, before we get to our final standings. Of course, in the winners bracket, we saw Prophecy versus FaZe. FaZe coming out so flat, Prophecy 3-0ing them. Of course, a lot of blame put on Aches. Aches not showing up until 2 minutes before that match. I was sitting in the booth with Apathy and Censor, and they were so mad. They thought they were going to have to forfeit this series or play 3-on-4. Aches did show up last minute, but it wasn't the Aches they needed. The team as a whole just out of it mentally, and it was Parasite and the boys on Prophecy looking very good at the start of Sunday morning. Then in our second match, Envy versus Optic Gaming. So much hype around this series. We all thought it was going the distance. Game 5, round 11, just like their round 1 matches. But this time, it was Optic coming out with the hot 3-0.
Yeah, that was Crimsix for me. He really stepped up in that whole series because he was kind of inconsistent a little bit on the first couple of days, but Sunday, when it mattered most, he was playing out of his mind, and I kind of want to see, that series go the distance a little bit more, because obviously the storylines that you have with the Optic Gaming versus Envious, but it really wasn't. Optic Gaming just came out and destroyed Envy, for lack of a better word.
In the winners bracket finals, a few hours later, Prophecy meeting up with Optic Gaming, and honestly, the story of Championship Sunday for me was how good is Optic Gaming when they are all on top of their game. Formal back to his monster mode. Yeah. We saw Scumpy being the best slayer on the team according to the numbers, and Crim6 did not slow down. Most importantly, though, watching that winners bracket finals, I felt like Nadeshot was there. He was present.
Yeah, that was key.
And he was keeping up with the rest of the squad. When all 4 of them were playing well, I couldn't see a single team in the venue taking them down, which was a big surprise when we look at FaZe's run in the losers bracket and then meeting up with them in the grand finals.
Yeah, FaZe did absolutely unbelievably. I mean, I know you heard us talk about it, but Aches was playing with, I think it's 12 stitches he had overall in his hand. It was something crazy like that. Mr. X was telling me exactly how many stitches he had, but did you see the before and after pictures?
I did.
Like, that's gotta hurt. Like, he was playing in some pain, and when you see them get 3-0'd at the very start of the day, you're like, oh well, it's over. Because me and Maven actually said on broadcast, we're like, well, there goes our predictions, thinking that they were just gonna go out like, I believe it would have been like 6th place overall, and we were like, well, when one player screws over a caster's predictions, it's not good enough. And then out of nowhere, I mean, I don't know what happened, but FaZe just looks so strong.
The one team we didn't see there in that losers bracket or the grand finals graphic was in the previous match. FaZe had to play Denial again. Of course, Denial beating FaZe in pool play. This time goes to Game 5. It's FaZe getting revenge. They take that final search and destroy. They carry that momentum. They 3-1 TK. They beat Prophecy. Was it 3-0?
3-2.
3-2.
I think it was 3-2.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, that one went the distance. They looked very good early on. Yeah. Then sloppy Game 3 and 4 finish out in Game 5. And then, of course, Optic Gaming FaZe in that grand finals. It was FaZe first with a 3-1. Both teams now with a loss. The final best of 5 decided it all. We went to Game 5, and it was FaZe to take the tournament.
It was insane. Probably one of the best grand finals I've ever seen in my entire life. It reminded me a lot of 2013 World Championship final and how the maps went and the overall final score in the Search and Destroy 2 is interesting because a lot of people actually picked up on that. But there you see the final standings of what every team from 1st to 8th took home.
Now, what's really important to notice here is FaZe, of course, going to gain 100,000 pro points, 25,000 pro points per player. Optic Gaming was on top of the leaderboard coming into this tournament. They will be banking 60,000. I believe they had about a 20 to 25,000 advantage over the second highest team. And that second highest team was Justice. Yep. Denial was 3rd. FaZe was way back down on 6th. So overall, I don't have the number right now, but I think Optic could still hold on to that top spot. Prophecy going to get a nice boost there with 44,000, and TK surprising a lot of people by finishing in the top 4. But this is going to be something to look at throughout the year. Which player, which team will have the most pro points? FaZe off to a fantastic start following the Columbus Open. Later in the show, guys, we're going to take a look at all 9 games from the grand finals. But first, we need to throw it to a commercial break. When we return, we'll have Doug Sensor Martin on the phone from our championship squad.